Hello and welcome to the 741 channel. Today we're going to take a look at how I fixed the signal meter on this old Johnson CB radio that I've been working on. Now a similar problem could potentially happen on any old CB, shortwave, or ham radio signal meter. So let's take a look at what I had to do to fix this one. Now normally the signal meter would be right here, but I've already removed it. Now there was a bracket here that was holding it to the back of the front panel, held on with just one screw. So I removed that first. And then I pulled out the backlight, which is right here, and then I unsoldered the two wires that were on the two terminals here and here, and you could say I labeled them just to make sure that I put the wires back in the right places. So here's a close-up look at the meter. Now you can see right now the needle is stuck over here sort of in the middle. And the reason I point that out is because when I turn the meter over, hopefully it shows up in the camera, but the meter face is separated from the body of the meter. And you can see over here it's kind of glued in the way it should be, and then over here it's kind of protruding up. And now the needle is sort of stuck over it. Now if you look even a little bit closer, you can see some discoloration in here. If I flip this over, you can see where the back lamp goes. It sort of clips into this metal bracket here. And then down inside of here, hopefully the camera is showing it, but it's all melted in here from the backlight. I'm not sure if a previous owner put the wrong lamp in here or it just degraded over time, but it looks like the plastic deformed and then the glue that holds on the meter face kind of separated and the thing just kind of sprung up, and that's why it's not working. So hopefully I can just slice through this tape. Now I'll just try and gently pry this off of here. Okay, looks like we've got it. And there, you can see if I push this back down, the needle moves. If I gently pull this away, you can see all the deformation from the backlight there. Right here, where the bulb was sort of protruding, there's a little bubble in the plastic. And the needle kind of moves freely until it comes in contact with that bubble, and then it gets stuck. What I think I'm going to try and do is get my hot air rework station warmed up and push that bubble back down. We'll see what happens. As you can see here on the bottom surface, I was able to get that depression pushed in, and the needle now moves. But I flew a little too close to the sun on wings of pastrami here. And what I realized was that these ears were deformed a little bit. So I tried heating up the ears and kind of pulling them back a little bit, and this one snapped. So now I'll try and glue this thing back together. And maybe this will end up being for the best, because when I glue this back on, I'll be able to kind of control the angle of it, and maybe I'll straighten out my interference issue. I was able to get this formed so the needle no longer hits the bottom when it travels. So the next thing I want to do is bring the meter face back in, slip it under the needle, and get it centered on the ears. So I'm going to use just a small amount of E6000 epoxy. And I'm going to spread it on this ear mount. I'm going to slide this over, and then I'm going to put some on the other side. And now I'm going to carefully try and center this thing. Now that that's in place, I'm just going to actuate the needle here just to make sure it doesn't bind. It looks like it's okay. So now I'm just going to let this cure overnight, and we'll see if we can get it back together in the morning. So the glue cured overnight, and it looks like everything is working the way that it should now. The one last thing I want to do here before I try and reassemble this, I noticed at one point there was some remnants of red paint on this needle, but they're all gone now. I looked around the house and I don't have any red paint. My wife doesn't even have any red fingernail polish. So just to try and restore the red, I'm going to use this marker and see if I can recolor it that way. This may not last, but at least for now it'll be red. So just to make sure I don't get any marker on the meter face, I'm going to slip a piece of paper under here. It may actually be less visible now than when it was silver, but it is what it is. That probably won't last over time anyway. So now I'm going to bring in the meter face and see if I can clip this thing back together. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape here like the factory had, and I'll reassemble this onto the radio.
Okay, well, who knows? Maybe the person who was reading the meter was getting, what do you call those watts? Feel-good watts?
Mike is really the expert there with that stuff. I just know based on limited personal experience.
Yeah, like I said, I got a spot over here. I know where, like, I would put that, and yeah, that would be part of that'd be permanent part of my shack.
As you can see, everything's working great now. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to learn more about my channel, check the links in the description below. Thanks for watching.